I picked up this DoorDash, and it was going 2.4 miles for Dunkin' Donuts, and I am almost there. Was not bad at all. Not a bad ride at all. Dunkin' Donuts, I put their hot food in a double insulated bag because they got some kind of hot breakfast, and their donuts. So I should be there shortly. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you for riding with me. Let's hang out on this morning and see what we can get. I'm out early, picking up a few breakfast orders through DoorDash, something I normally do not do, but I'm doing it today. This house? I hope it's this house. There's 2 homes here. This one or... I delivered the Dunkin' Donuts, delivered that. I pulled into the driveway and it was 2 homes, and I didn't realize which home it should be. I tried looking at the previous picture from the last time someone delivered to that house. DoorDash will show you a previous picture so you can kind of see what that house or front door looks like. It still was hard to tell because the houses were similar. So I called the customer, no problem. She told me it was a house on the left. So the house I initially was at was the wrong house. I called her and I went to the house right next door. So I think it was like shared family property or something. But anyway, I picked up a Crystals and I did not film going in there. So I'm headed to drop off this Crystals. It had a large order. It was only going 2.4 miles or something like that. It wasn't even 3 miles, and that was $10. So that was really good for a breakfast order. They ordered 3 large sweet teas and some food and 2 little things of milk. So I got to make 2 trips from the car, but they didn't have the large cups of the sweet tea that the customer wanted. So she was like, oh, we didn't have the large. So she just gave them medium cups. And I said, well, normally, most of the restaurants, if you don't have they'll normally go up a size if they don't have the size the customer ordered. And she just was, kind of looking dumbfounded and asked me to call them. So I did call the customer, and the customer said, well, can she give me a coffee since they don't have that? So they got a little coffee and replaced it at. Grubhub doesn't have the option if an item is out to replace the item and substitute it. DoorDash has that. On DoorDash, if something is out, you can click on their order, say that that's out, click on for a substitute, boom, you're good. Grubhub, you have to actually call and speak to a representative, and it takes a long time. So, this is not the street. This is not the street. I don't know why it's telling me to go there. It takes a long time, so I wasn't doing that. I called them. They said a coffee would be fine, and that was that. So let me get this delivered. I think I just missed that street. The sun is shining bright, and I missed it. How's it going? Good, can't complain.
Hot day again, huh?
Yes, got out early so I
They
could
sent me
beat them.
a milk finally.
Yeah, you got
You gonna take the pictures? You gonna take the pictures?
that. I'll get it. 1 second.
Already? You already took the pictures?
Yeah, I did it. Okay, that was a successful drop off, and dropped that off, and that was that. So, everything's about communication. The restaurant, the Crystals, was just going to give me their drinks, like, oh, well, but no, you don't do people like that. It's a lot of money when you upgrade to extra large and large, and you don't just give them a medium cup because you didn't have a larger cup. You don't do that. You replace it with something else or upgrade it. So, I take the extra time to mention something like that. But like I said, most restaurants, they just automatically say, well, hey, we didn't have the the 20 ounce, so we gave them the 32 ounce. And that just happened last week when I picked up someone's food from Wingstop, and they were out of the 20 ounce cup, so she said we upgraded them to the 32 ounce. There was no need for me to even tell the customer that. I typed it in the little messages, sent them a message to let them know, and they said great, you know. But you don't downgrade them or not give them anything at all. You just don't do that. So they got the extra coffee, the coffee in replace of it, and that was that. This is a tight parking spot. Okay, I dropped off the Arby's for this gentleman on his lunch break, and it was handed to me. So I did not film that, but as soon as I pulled up, he was at my side door. I said, "You waiting for something?" He said, "Adrian," and he said, "My Arby's," and I said, "Okay, just want to make sure I'm not giving it to the wrong person." But so that was quick. Dropped that off. It was only 1.4 miles, and it was $6 even. So it was kind of like behind Arby's and a couple of blocks down. Not bad at all. And let's see what else I can get. And that's my seatbelt reminder. So let me put that on and get rolling. All right, okay. Okay, so I picked up the Jim and Nick's, and that's a barbecue, and they got a lot of food, and it's a place of business. It's actually being dropped off at the YMCA, and I guess it's lunchtime for some counselors or somebody. And it paid $16, and it's going 9 miles. All right, I just dropped off that Jim and Nick's, and you know, it's the YMCA. It's a lot of kids and stuff, so I didn't record it. And she called me to see, you know, what was the deal with her food. But I imagine she spent a lot of money. They probably get a certain time to eat. But I told her it's construction. I had to jump on the highway. You know, I had to jump on the highway, and they're doing a lot of construction. So they rerouted me to get off. You couldn't get off the regular exit. So, you know, I had to, then when they rerouted me, the street that I came around to jump back on was a funeral. There was a cemetery right there. So they was having a funeral, and the police was directing, you know, the whole funeral session and everything like that. So I had to sit there and wait. I told her it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do. Your food is safe. I'm on my way. There's a lot of traffic. There's construction and a funeral. So anyway, let me head to where I'm going now, wherever that is.